The Puma helicopter, one of the longest-serving aircraft in the history of the Royal Air Force, officially retired on March 31st, 2025, after 54 years of service. Although this mainstay helicopter conducted farewell flights in the UK, Brunei, and Cyprus, the UK has yet to decide on a replacement for the Puma. At the time of its retirement, the RAF had 23 Pumas, all upgraded to the HC2 standard. However, in the months leading up to its retirement, the primary operational base at RAF Benson had already begun withdrawing the Pumas from service. In November of the previous year, as part of a major reduction in the British Armed Forces, the RAF announced that the Puma fleet would be retired by the end of March. Originally designed by France's Aerospatiale and manufactured by Britain's Westland, the Puma entered RAF service in 1971. Its primary roles included troop and logistical transport, as well as casualty evacuation. It could carry 12 fully equipped troops or up to 4,400 pounds of freight. The latter moved as internal cargo or underslung, or a mix of the two. For casualty evacuation, it could be configured with up to 6 stretchers. Since 1971, the Puma has been an invaluable asset to the British military, thanks to its reliability and payload capacity. It has been deployed in combat, logistics, and humanitarian missions, undergoing upgrades to the HC2 standard to meet increasingly demanding operational requirements. However, its capabilities have gradually become insufficient for modern military needs, and the aircraft itself has reached the end of its service life. After completing its final farewell flights, the Puma has been retired and placed in storage, with no official successor yet determined. Last year, the UK Ministry of Defence launched the new medium helicopter program, inviting bids from Airbus, Leonardo, and Lockheed Martin. The NMH program will determine the UK's military helicopter fleet for the next 10 to 15 years and play a significant role in shaping the country's military transformation. In March 2021, the UK Ministry of Defence first introduced the NMH program, planning to invest £900 million to £1.2 billion to procure 44 new helicopters. The program aimed to replace 4 different helicopter fleets: the RAF's Super Puma and Griffin, the Army's Bell, and the Navy's Dauphin. In addition to acquiring new helicopters, the UK Ministry of Defence required the winning bidder to provide training, maintenance, and spare part support. The NMH concept envisions a modular, multi-role helicopter that could be rapidly deployed under Joint Army-Air Force Command to operate in complex environments. It will combine traditional transport, tactical airlift, and casualty evacuation roles while enhancing flexibility, reducing logistical costs, and streamlining the helicopter fleet. The UK military hopes to introduce the NMH aircraft into service by 2025, meaning a contract must be signed with the chosen manufacturer by 2024 the latest. However, the procurement process has been delayed. It was only in May 2022 that the UK Ministry of Defence formally launched the NMH pre-selection process, and it was not until February 2024 that bidding companies received official invitations to negotiate. Due to the delays in the NMH program, the UK has had to allocate funds for an emergency procurement of 14 CH-47ER helicopters from the US to meet immediate needs. However, disagreements between the UK and the US have complicated the purchase, and these helicopters are not expected to be delivered until around 2027. Faced with urgent operational requirements, the UK signed a contract with Airbus for 6 H-145 helicopters to support British troops stationed in Brunei and Cyprus. One key reason for selecting the H-145 was that the UK military already operates 3 of them, making it a cost-effective choice in terms of maintenance and training. Airbus has announced that the 6 new H-145 helicopters are expected to enter service in 2025. Additionally, Airbus will upgrade the UK's existing H-145 fleet with new night vision equipment, communication systems, and medical evacuation capabilities. Initially, companies such as Bell and Sikorsky also participated in the NMH project, but were eliminated due to pricing issues. After the UK Ministry of Defence announced the pre-selection results, Airbus, Leonardo, and Lockheed Martin intensified their efforts to showcase their strengths and win the final contract. Lockheed Martin's Black Hawk is a strong contender, with over 5,000 units produced and 35 military operators worldwide, accumulating over 15 million flight hours. To secure the contract, Lockheed Martin has promised to equip the UK's Black Hawks with advanced digital avionics and composite wide-chord rotor blades. Additionally, the company has pledged to reinvest 40% of the helicopter's production value back into the UK economy. Some of Lockheed Martin's operations could also be relocated to the UK in the future. However, the safety performance of the Black Hawk has been unstable in recent years. In 2020 and 2024, the Colombian military experienced two unexpected crashes. In 2022, a Mexican Navy Black Hawk lost control and crashed to the ground. In 2021, the Israeli Black Hawk fleet was grounded due to multiple engine failures. And in the past 5 years, the U.S. military has also faced several crashes. The most concerning issue is that these failures occur without warning, making them difficult to detect using conventional methods. Compared to the unreliable performance of the Black Hawk, the AW149 helicopter from Italy's Leonardo company, which is competing in the bid, offers strong battlefield survivability. It features a new crash-resistant design that significantly enhances airframe stability. Its transmission system has a dry-running capability, allowing it to continue flying for up to 50 minutes even if it runs out of fuel. Additionally, the aircraft is equipped with an infrared signal suppression system to reduce the likelihood of being hit by man-portable air defense missiles. Beyond its robust airframe, the AW149 is also designed for enhanced crew comfort. The cockpit utilizes a glass cockpit system to reduce pilot visual fatigue, and its open architecture avionics system allows for cost-effective upgrades and modifications. As early as 2022, Leonardo established AW149 production facilities at its plant in the UK. Company executives have pledged that once a contract is signed, at least 60% of the order's production work will be assigned to UK-based factories, ensuring aircraft deliveries within 14 months. This strategy clearly draws from the company's past sales experience. Leonardo's AW101 helicopter has been in service with the British military for years, and its supply chain already includes more than 70 British companies. Faced with strong competition, Airbus is also determined to secure the contract. Its H175M helicopter features a 12 cubic meter cabin that can accommodate 16 fully equipped soldiers and has an underslung load capacity of 2,700 kilograms, making it the largest of the three competing models. Additionally, it is equipped with Airbus' latest avionics system, which is compatible with the H135 and H145 helicopters already in service with the British military. This compatibility significantly reduces pilot training time and lowers operational and maintenance costs. To improve its chances, Airbus has partnered with Boeing, which had previously withdrawn from the competition. The company has also offered lucrative additional services. If Airbus wins the contract, the H175M will be fully manufactured and maintained in the UK, bringing advanced technology and job opportunities to the country. But for the British military, the immediate priority is to finalize the selection of its next-generation helicopter based on operational requirements. However, this is no simple task. In recent military conflicts, helicopter forces have frequently encountered threats from anti-aircraft artillery, portable air defense missiles, and electronic warfare equipment. Helicopter pilots often employ low-altitude, high-speed flight tactics to evade threats. But this approach has its limitations and risks. Flying at low altitudes reduces pilots' visibility, making it harder to detect and respond to enemy threats in time. It also increases the likelihood of being targeted by small arms fire, raising the risk of crashes. To address these challenges, more advanced next-generation helicopters must be developed. However, with the global economy struggling to recover, many countries have opted to abandon new helicopter development due to financial constraints. For example, last year, the U.S. Army announced the cancellation of its next-generation future attack reconnaissance aircraft program. Although the UK is participating in Europe's next-generation rotorcraft project, progress has been slow. The UK, France, Germany, and Italy signed a letter of intent for cooperation in 2020, but it was not until 2022 that a consensus was reached. Even now, the project faces difficulties related to differing requirements and cost-sharing disputes. Given these delays, the British military cannot rely on international cooperation to replace its aging helicopters in time. Instead, it must procure new aircraft from foreign manufacturers to complete its modernization. In recent years, the British military has been continuously adjusting its force structure and budget allocations to enhance overall combat effectiveness. A senior British official once stated that military spending should primarily focus on flagship projects, such as new warships and the next-generation Tempest stealth fighter. In the defense industry, funding for new product development often comes at the expense of other programs. The UK's 2022 Integrated Review emphasized that, due to massive fiscal deficits, the British Army would be reduced to 72,500 personnel over the next decade. The plan to upgrade 600 Warrior infantry fighting vehicles was also canceled. Statistics show that high-performance helicopters worldwide typically cost over $30 million each. If the British military intends to replace all aging helicopters as planned, budget constraints will inevitably be a significant challenge. From a practical standpoint, the UK's land-based military equipment, particularly its helicopter fleet, is in an awkward transitional phase. The shift from mechanization to digital warfare will take time. A senior British Army officer expressed deep concern, stating, "The British Army is struggling to balance investment in new technologies with the modernization of aging equipment, and this presents significant challenges." Currently, there are many uncertainties surrounding the UK's NMH program. The future composition of the British military's helicopter fleet remains a subject of ongoing attention.